Hey guys, Dustin here, CEO of 630, and today I'm going to show you how to safely ride an e-bike. Stick around. All right, so today I'm going to show you how to safely ride an electric bike. But before I do, hit that subscribe button below. Stay in touch with us here at 630. All the giveaways we're doing, weekly, monthly, and stay in the know about product releases and content we're putting out, so hit subscribe. All right, so e-bikes are everywhere now. People are riding them on the streets, on trails, on paths. And so today I'm gonna show you how to ride an e-bike, but also more importantly, how to safely ride an e-bike. So I'll walk you through some of the controls, how to mount and dismount, and just how to safely operate so we can hopefully educate more people and keep e-bike riding safe for everyone. So first step, now I've got a whole assortment of bikes here, different power levels, and different frame styles as well. The concepts I'll talk about are gonna be the same pretty much among all the e-bikes. And I think we're gonna need to get in a little bit closer here so I can walk you through. Now, when we talk about riding an e-bike, you want to have a good helmet first and foremost. Never, never, never get on an electric bicycle without a helmet on. There have been accidents that occurred, and you just never know when you're going to fall. And especially if you're going to get going fast, you want to have your helmet securely on. So this one's good for me. Now, when you mount and dismount an electric bike, I advise leave the motor off. Just in case when you're getting on, you don't want to accidentally hit the throttle or do something or move the pedals and have it in pedal assist, so you can just leave it off. In this case, all the power controls are here, so once we mount it, you can turn it back on. So now, the mounting and the dismounting is also an important piece of safely riding an e-bike. So depending on what you're comfortable with, there's obviously two common practices in mounting a bike. One is coming from the rear with your leg, or the other is doing a step over technique through here, right? Now this frame is not a complete step over, so it's not as easy to come this direction. What I would advise now when you're doing this, whichever way you're gonna mount the bike, keep one of the brakes engaged, right? This is the front brake. I'm just gonna keep that engaged while I'm moving my leg over. Now I actually engage both brakes. That's just common habit for me. I kind of lean in and I do this. If I were to step through this way, I would just do one brake, just so the bike doesn't get away from me. Now, once I'm over the frame, go ahead and kick your kickstand up because you don't want to drag that with you when you're riding. And then you can slide back onto the seat. So, and actually this seat is a little too high for me, so I'm gonna just dismount again and just bring this down a hair. There we go. So, also an important part about riding any bike, but in particular an electric bike safely, make sure in advance of moving that everything's adjusted perfectly to fit your body. In the case of 630 bikes, all bikes are really customizable to your body. You can raise and lower the seat, you can adjust the handlebars, so you know that it's perfect for you. Especially if you have mounting, dismounting concerns, you want to make sure that seat is not too high for you. So I'm going to engage my brakes, and I'm going to do the rear leg swing in this case. Okay, so now I'm up on the pads of my feet. Let me lower it just a touch again. We want to be as safe as possible. There we go. Okay, now brakes engaged. Okay, now that we're on, get the kickstand up. I like to, now in this case, for an e-bike, let's keep both feet planted on the ground and keep at least one brake always engaged. Now I'm going to turn the power on right here. And you can see from here, my screen now comes on. And now the motor is engaged and everything, the electrics are turned on. So in this case, now I still have this brake engaged. Make sure you steer clear of your throttle or anything, and don't pedal, because if you have it on any kind of pedal assist, it's going to go. So in this case now it's on 2, If I take that down to 0 now, nothing's going to happen, right? The motor's not going to engage, so I'm pretty safe here. I'm still going to keep my brakes on. But I would recommend, to ride as safe as possible, start out with 0 pedal assist at all. And as you start to ride, you can start to increase your pedal assist level. So in this case now I'm in 0. Keep my brakes engaged, and once you're ready to go, make sure your foot, whichever is the foot you like to push down with, keep that foot in this starting position, so when you go, you can push down and get the bike rolling forward. So this is a great starting position right here. I got my brake engaged, and I'm gonna push off, and I'm just gonna go 0, and then as I get moving normal, now I can start to engage my pedal assist. Now I'm in 1, 2, and I'm moving. And I'm going to ease into my brakes, and when you stop pedaling, the motor will disengage. When you start pedaling, it will engage. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to brake properly. So now I'm going to roll up to you. I'm going to ease into my rear brake, and then pull my front brake and stop. Now in this case, I actually didn't take the pedal assist down to 0. I'm still in pedal assist 2. You can stop with the motor still in the pedal assist, because once you stop pedaling, it's going to stop the motor. But once I come to a complete stop, again, I recommend take that down to 0. Now I can do, in this case too, when you're in 0 pedal assist, the throttle also disengages. So that's a great safety feature. You don't have to worry about the bike getting away from you. So now I'm in 0. I don't have to worry about the bike kicking up, and I've seen that before. Now it's important when riding an e-bike, because typically, on a bike, you're going to have your shifting controls most times on the right thumb, and you're going to have the twist shifter over here. So a lot of people may not be used to having controls and a throttle on the left hand. So it's important that you get used to not hitting that throttle, bumping it, or pushing any controls that you don't have to. So just really keep your grip up here. All right, so let me swing around. All right, now let me show you what I recommend for pedal assist. Now for full throttle. Now same thing for throttle. Let's keep the brake engaged when we're stopped. I'm in pedal assist 0 right now. Get my pedal into the starting position. I'm gonna start pedaling first and then engage the throttle. So get going, release my brake, start pedaling. Now I'm going to increase my pedal assist, and I'm going to stop pedaling and engage my throttle. And now I'm just driving. And you can see I'm doing my throttle. Now I'm coming into a stop, so what I'm going to do is ease my rear brake and my front brake. I'm going to start taking my pedal assist down to 0. That's really the safest way. And when I'm ready, come to a complete stop, and 1 foot, 2 foot. So once you get familiar with all the controls and utilizing them, it's really, really safe. If you've never ridden an e-bike, I would practice the steps I've talked about and get comfortable with downshifting, upshifting on the pedal assist. Take it down to 0 when you're stopped, just so you accidentally don't get going. I've seen a lot of people, they get on an e-bike, they don't realize the pedal assist is on, and I'll show you as an example. Now I'm doing this just to demonstrate, but like let's say right now I'm in pedal assist 5, right? And you're just not paying attention, and you start going, and boom, the minute you pedal, that thing kicks you like that, right? So if you're not ready for that jolt, it can be a little bit alarming. The other thing about starting with hitting that throttle from a standstill is, depending on how heavy you are or how not heavy you are, how light you are, if you hit that throttle and you're standing here, let's say you hit that throttle like this, like that, see? So I'm trying to do this as a demonstration. Let me back up a little bit. But if I keep my feet down and I hit that throttle, the bike wants to go, right? So if I start fighting it and I don't get on the bike's gonna go up. You can see, right? Just like that. So if you're not ready for that and you keep that throttle down, you know, if you just all of a sudden freak out and you keep your thumb down, that bike's going to shoot away from you. So again, I recommend keep it in 0, and when you get going, just ease into it. So now we're in 0, and I'll just ease into it. There we go. And I can just brake, throttle, and when I stop, now I'm going to downshift to 0. Now I have no motor. I'm braking rear, front, stopping, and I don't have to worry about anything happening. There's my throttle's disengaged because I'm in 0. So the other thing too is on the brakes. When you come to a stop, you don't want to clamp down like this, right? It's kind of like a car. You want to give it gentle pressure so you can ease into the stop. You know, you don't want to go 20 miles an hour and boom, do this because you may fly over the handlebars. Now, if you put most of the pressure on the rear, then that could prevent going over the handlebars, but you still could experience a skid out. So you just really want to ease into the braking as much as possible. So I think the key to everything is to be aware on an e-bike. You know, an e-bike is a motorized vehicle, and so the awareness required is more than a bike because you've got power and it can do things without you pedaling, just like a motorcycle. So let me just kind of show you the braking one more time. All right. So I'm going to really spot my stopping point. Okay, I know I'm stopping up there. So I'm going to downshift now, stop pedaling, ease in, clamp the front, and that brings me to a complete stop. So you really have to have a higher level of awareness on an e-bike than you have on a standard bike. You really got to spot where you're going out in the distance, be prepared, stop early, make turns early, and just make sure that you get comfortable working all the controls. So I hope that helps. I hope that explains on how to ride an e-bike safely. If you have any other questions at all, comment below. We'll always respond, or you can email us, the team at sixthreezero.com, or call us 310-982-2877. Also, if you're in the market for an e-bike, take the body fit quiz on our website, sixthreezero.com. It's going to ask you some questions about your body and your life, and our proprietary algorithm will fit you to the bike that's perfect for you. In addition, we have a 90-day test ride your e-bike policy. If you don't love your bike within 90 days, send it back, no questions asked, and no money out of your pocket. In addition to that, join our community. We have a Facebook peddlers group and an app. Even if you don't have a 630 bike, you can see how others are riding their bikes, ask questions, especially if you're thinking about purchasing one for yourself. And once you get a bike, post your rides, track your rides on the app, see how others are riding their bikes, and just make new friends. It's a lot of fun. So, thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey, your experience. Enjoy the ride.